Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even been endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple Music. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pando, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide, Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast for t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, hoodies, and more. Amazon.com. Check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more. Even phone cases makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. Check it out today. Also support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and TheMikeWagnerShow.com. And don't be afraid to buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at The Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific lady who was born in Puerto Rico and raised in New York City and later went to Massachusetts, and she's currently in Florida. We'll talk about her journey. She grew up in a family in a difficult situation. She's the author of site blogs and writes all about her family and experiences and more, and how she managed to overcome the situations. She is also an advocate of preventing child abuse, and her goal is to improve other people's lives and be seen as a good model through her writing. And she's got books out called Villains for Justice, Life Growing Up, Child Abuse, Samson and Delilah, also I Am Beast, Cryptic Pregnancy, also Cryptic Minds, What Do You See, and also When Monsters Attack, and more. We'll also be talking about one of the books she's got coming up as well. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Orlando, the amazingly multi-talented author of The Return of the Villains for Justice and Villains for Justice, ladies and gentlemen, the very talented author, Marta Nater. Marta, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Mike, I'm very excited to be in your show. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on board, and I'm waiting to talk to you as well. So you've got a really good story. You're born in Puerto Rico, you're raised in New York City, and you traveled in quite a few states. We'll talk about that. You grew up in a family in difficult situation. You're the author of site blogs. You're an advocate of preventing child abuse, and your main goal is to improve others' lives and be seen as a good model through your writing. Also, you got some books called Villains for Justice, Life Growing Up, Samson, Delilah, and more. And before getting to all that, Marta, tell us how you first got started.
Well, it actually all started back in my early teen years. Like, for example, whenever I was punished and I had to stay in my room, I would always sit down and write. And for some reason that I can't fully explain, Mike, it would make me feel happy. It would change my mood and it would make my day. And there was something about writing that it relieved me. It brought me a lot of joy. And every time that I was either bored, unhappy, or punished, that's when I would write. And I would make up stories to write about. But back then it was mostly about romance that I write about, which was odd because I was a teen and I didn't know much about romance. And I just remember that when I was done writing, I would crumble what I wrote about and I would toss it in the garbage. But my mother, she would always find out what I would write about, and she would think the worst of me, like she thought that I was in love or something like that, So since I didn't want to stop writing, what I would do is I would break into pieces what I write about, toss it in the garbage. But that Mike did not stop my mom. And she would tape it all back together just to find out what I was writing about. And the funny thing is that I would always write in English. So it wasn't like she could understand what I read about. But my mom, she was clever. She was smart. She would use one of my other siblings, so they can translate it to her. And, she didn't like me to write. She actually thought at first that there was something wrong with me. There was even a time that she even thought that I had a double personality. And, I don't know why, but, everybody writes. It's fun. So I don't know. That was just mom. So it's like she couldn't grasp the idea that writing made me happy. So in order to make her happy and not think the worst of me, I stopped writing. But when I had reached my adulthood, that's when I restarted writing again and continue to do so to this day. And I love it.
Even when you're punished, you're at your best writing. Usually people are at their worst. I mean, that's just a really rare trait and very interesting. I seem to like that, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My mom, she was different, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
What influenced me, you asked me?
The one precise moment, yes.
Well, what influenced me really was an author called Kelly Randis. I don't know if you heard her. Know about her. She wrote Spilled Milk, which was actually her first novel. And what I most liked about the book is that it was based on a true story, it is. And the book is about a battered young girl who tries her best anonymously to reach out to Protected Child Services to inform them of the abuse that's going on in her home. But instead of them helping her, they put her in even more danger, which leads her to battle against a broken child system who only pursues to keep her father, the abuser, at home, which is just crazy. So feeling inspired by others and wanting to be safe and wanting some justice, she takes the risk of losing her the support of her whole family, which was sad. And let me tell you, Mike, this book is just another sample of what abused children go through when the child system fails to help them out. And just like many others, I know all about that because I've been there too. And Spilled Milk is an amazing novel of both strength and victory. Plus, what I simply love is and admire of the author is that she wrote it to help future generations of children who are or were sexually abused and the child system turn their back on them, failing them. And actually that book reached the #1 best-selling spot on Amazon 24 hours after it launched. And since 2014, it continues to be a bestseller, which is amazing.
That had to be amazing. And who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
Excuse me, what was that?
Who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
Well, there are actually a few of them. I like James Patterson. Nora Roberts, Stephen King is one of my favorites. I even watch all his movies. And like I said, Kelly Randis. I like Charles Dickens and
yes.
Oprah Winfrey. And some of the books that I like Alex Cross too. Forever Kind of Love, Silence Lot, and Spilled Milk, of course. Charles Dickens' complete novels, and Daniel Steele and The Butler. They're all very interesting books.
And it sounds really interesting. And speaking of books, Marta, what are some other favorite books that you enjoyed growing up?
Oh, my God. I don't really remember, honestly, to be honest. I mean, no, just like maybe just was more TV shows, like Charlie Brown,
Oh,
cartoons.
Yeah, my favorite. Yes, I love Charlie Brown, especially those books, easy to read.
Yes. And that's what like I said, it was, go to school, come home. It was just boring, and we didn't really read books. That's why I would sit and write and, so that's how it went for us.
And that sounds rather interesting as well, too, able to create your own books. And speaking of creating your own books, we'll talk about some of your books like I Am Beast, Kryptonite Pregnancy, and also your first one, Life Growing Up and More, along with the Return of the Villains for Justice and more. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. For great books and more, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and TheMikeWagnerShow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at The Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you donate today. We're here with a terrific lady who was born in Puerto Rico, raised in New York City, and currently in Orlando here on the Mike Wagner Show, author Marta Nater, and grew up in a family in difficult situation. We talked about that. And you also got some books, which is called I Am Beast, Cryptic Pregnancy, Mind Cryptic Pregnancy as well, and also Cryptic Minds, What Do You See in Me, Faultless, and more. And before getting all that, tell us about your journey going from Puerto Rico over to Orlando, where you're at right now.
Well, okay, like I was born in Puerto Rico, but when I was 1 year old, my parents brought me to New York. And from New York, I was there a few years. Then we went to Massachusetts. And then when I was about 15 years and a half, we jumped to Florida. And then I stayed in Florida, then went to Puerto Rico, married, then came back to Florida because I love Florida. And I wanted, I love it here.
You should write more books about Florida. You can do that, even in kids' stories, too.
I don't know. Let's see.
Well, of course, you do have a couple of children's books. You got Samson and Delilah, which is, good for starters. And tell us about that. You seem to take Samson and Delilah to the next level.
It's a children's book, and it's about, it's about a little girl, and her dog, Samson. The girl's name is Delilah, of course. And like I have said in the beginning of that book, it's not the Bible story. I made it into a cartoon, and I don't know. I just wanted to, write something different, and it has a really good storyline. It's really good. And, it's about the safety in the animals, protecting them, because a lot of people cruel to the animals.
Oh, my gosh.
And, that's what it's about. That's what Delilah does. She rescues them, and she has the help of Samson. And anybody that gets in their way, that's what he's there for. So it's really good.
Wow, that's a very interesting take on Samson and Delilah as well, too, the caring for animals. And, of course, speaking of caring as well, too, you also wrote about life growing up, also life growing up child abuse. And tell us about those ones, inspired to write.
Well, yeah, because growing up, it was really difficult because, I lived through an abuse, not just me, but my siblings too, and it did affect us. I mean, me personally, I was able to, once I was in my outdoor years and I was married, they started to affect my marriage. So I started, I got some help. I went to Devereaux and I got some help there, and I was able to save my marriage, and I mean, that was the book Life Growing Up. That's my side of the story. My siblings they all have their own stories to tell. I mean, I have 8 brothers and 3 sisters. So I come from a large family. They were all abused. Not so much fair.
Wow. I was going to say, how do you manage to be in competition with those 11 siblings? You got me in competition.
No, not really. I mean, no. I mean, I love them all. They're all good. I love all my siblings. Maybe not the same way, but, they're all abused. We grew up with that, and, we have that in common.
Mm-hmm. And that's very true as well, too. And you also wrote about corrective pregnancy, I Am Beast, and also When Monsters Attack, and What Do You See in Me? And corrective pregnancy is a rather interesting tale, and especially about I Am Beast. It's not your typical horror movie, but tell us about those, especially when you give it a different spin to it.
You're talking about the I Am Beast, right?
Correct, yeah. I Am Beast. Everybody thinks, I Am Beast, it's a horror story, monsters and all that, but this is your version of it, which is really unique.
Okay, some of my books, as you know, they're self-published, while the others are published with Torrance Publishers. And actually, Mike, with Torrance Publishers, I have an ongoing series novel. The first book, that one is called Villains for Justice, and the second book is called The Return of the Villain for Justice, with a final third one currently in the works. And let me tell you a little bit about the 3 novels. Okay, so I mentioned before, Mike, based on my life experience with child abuse, I felt inspired to write a fiction story about villains who seek justice for what they believe that are the right reason. Each character in that book shows what can happen when a citizen will build up anger, takes justice and laws into their own hands. And in the second book that follows that one, each villain returns to deal with their struggles for justice, such as harshest punishment, pedophiles, rapists, and so forth. Now, in the second book, I created a new common villain named Amadou Khan, who fights for Black lives and prejudice within the law enforcement system. And Mike, I have actually had people ask me why I named my new character villain Amadou. Well, there's a reason. And the reason I chose that name was because of what took place back in 1999 with the wrongful death of Amadou Diallo, when he was shot 41 times by 4 police officers. And what happened to him has always stayed with me. And I wanted to create a fictional villain who stands up for Black Lives Matter cause. And based on positive reviews on that book, I've done a pretty good job writing that storyline, and I'm actually proud of it. And my final third novel, which follows these previous 2, is going to be called Heroes to the Public, Villains to the Law. And that book will continue to feature the same villain characters as the other 2. And that one is going to be out to the public sometime during mid to late April of 2022, next month.
Wow, you've got a good thing going there, Marta. I got to say that. And of course, when I see the thing about villains as well too, and what inspired you to call it Villains for Justice instead of Heroes for Justice?
Well, I wanted something different. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about the third one, the final one.
The both of them, first and the second.
Well, the first one I named Villains for Justice. I don't know. It just came to my head, and I said, "Well, this one, that name would be good." I don't know. I liked the name, and then the second one, it follows it because they return. They return back to what they're gonna do, and then the third one, which is the final one, they're heroes to the public, but they're villains to the law, and that's what the book is about, really. It's pretty good. It's going to be very interesting. The third one is going to be very, very interesting.
It sounds interesting. And how does this differ from the other crime-fighting superheroes when it comes to books as well, too? It's like, how does that compare or make it different from the rest?
I don't know. To me, I just say that the last one is the better one because it has the ending. Because how everything first started with Villains of the Justice, and then the return, and everything takes place in New York. And then the third one is kind of the ending of the novel.
I see. And you talked about, having like fighting for social justice. What are some of the other social issues that they take on as well, too, in preserving justice?
Oh, man. I mean, it's just that it's a long, long story, and they're both long. Like I said, they mainly fight. They mainly like to help the public that are in need. When they see, this is wrong, what they're doing, instead of justice, there is no justice. And they do whatever they can to help the public and the people in need. Mm-hmm. And there's especially one named Cora Rollins. I think that a lot of people will like her. They're going to have a lot of things in common with her, especially, those like me and others who've been, abused and sexually. And it's really good. They're going to like her. I think some will hate her, but some will like her. It's really a good storyline.
Now, who'd you say the character was? Was it Cherry or Cora? Who'd you say it was?
Cora Rollins.
Cora, okay. And what about Nina or Nina and Cherry? Maybe you can describe those characters and how they compare to Cora.
Nina is going to be the first villain. She's in the first book. She's actually in all of them. And she's the first villain. Then after that, when Cherry is a child, she's been abused, so she gets kidnapped. And Nina, she raises her. And later on, Cherry becomes a villain too. And she wants to do the same thing and help. It goes, one by one, it's really good. I just don't want to get the whole thing away.
No, I completely understand that one. And what do you want the readers to get out of these novels?
Well, I want them to understand where I'm coming from, because I know a lot of people that aren't going to like it, but I wrote it because, I want to be an advocate for the abused children, and that's why, I write, and like, for example, one of the things that inspired me, it has been that my own desire to help abused children, but not only them, Mike, also their parents as well. And what I mean by that is that I was an abused child all the way into my teen years. So I personally know how that feels. And I know what it takes from a child. And I especially know the emotional and physical pain it brings and leaves on a child. And like I said, based on my own life experience with child abuse and not having the help of Child Protective Services has been one of the things that has inspired me to advocate to, by writing about the things that go on behind closed doors. And this is why most of my writing and published books are about abused children who have no voice and have to suffer in silence because they haven't been given a chance to be heard yet. And many people don't know or understand the rough challenges these children are faced with, even well into their elderly years, like I was one of those. And it's from there where my inspiration to write, it mainly comes from there.
Mm-hmm. And how? And how can we help?
It would be a great idea. If anybody sees children that are being abused, don't stay quiet. I think they should report it immediately. Keep an eye. It's good to, just keep an eye and get updated with the child abuse guidelines and all that. Like I did it. It helps,
Mm-hmm. And we certainly will do so. And where can we find all your books at, Marta?
Mostly Amazon. They're in Goodreads, Barnes and Nobles. They're in a lot of places. They're in a lot.
And how about your website? What's your website?
Oh, my website is MissMarta.com.
MissMarta.com, and certainly check it out. There's a lot of games, a lot of things to do, all about Marta, and we'll talk about what's coming up for Marta and more in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international war-wearing author Mia Molson-Zia Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented Marta Nater of The Return of the Villains for Justice after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe-Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the multi-talented author Marta Nater out of Orlando, Florida, with Villains for Justice and The Return of the Villains for Justice, and her third book coming up here on the Mike Wagner Show, along with many other books like I Am Beast, Cryptic Pregnancy, Samson, Delilah, and more. And just a few more minutes here, Marty. You've been amazing. You told us a great story. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Marta?
Well, like I said, in 2022, my last novel comes out. Then I'm going to take a break from writing because I feel like I deserve it and need it. Because when you write, oh my God, it takes so much out of you. I love it because it takes me into another world, fictional world. And it keeps my mind busy, but in 2022, there's going to be that book, which will be out next month sometime.
We're certainly looking forward to it, and you've been really busy, which is great, Marta. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My husband, he influenced me. He tells me to keep going, don't give up. My children also, even though they're adults. And, Mike, there's something that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
That had influenced me even more. And it was what happened to 8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez up in California. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I feel this is not just important, but it serves as another example of what I'm talking about when I write these fictional books. This was a boy in California who was abused day in and out by his own mother and her boyfriend back in 2013.
Wow.
And the saddest part to me was that the boy was tortured to death while in the watch of Child Protective Services. And I didn't watch the Netflix documentary because, Mike, I can't watch things like that because it breaks me emotionally. And I won't be able to sleep. I can't watch like movies. Anything that has to do with abused children, I cannot watch. And Gabriel's story is really heartbreaking. And both his death and lack of help at Child Protective Services influenced me to write my first novel, to which I dedicated that book to him.
Yes.
Because of what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good thing to do. Just keep getting the word out and keep plugging away. And lastly, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, Marta?
My best advice is to never give up on your dreams. Believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. And Mike, since my childhood, my dream was to become an author someday. And I made that dream come true. So let no one, no obstacles, no criticism, no negativity stand in your way. Reach your goal. It's possible. And as long as it's what you really want, then go for it. You can do it.
And you're certainly doing a great job, Marta. I got to say that you're doing a great job. We're here with author Marta Nater of Villains for Justice and the Return of the Villains for Justice, and the third book coming up on the Mike Wagner Show. Marta, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Looking forward to having you on soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back in 2022 and beyond. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or check out your books?
Well, if they go to my site, my main site is missmarta@yahoo.com. And if they're interested in purchasing my books, all they have to do is go to Amazon or Doran's publisher's site, and they'll find my books there.
And we will certainly do so. Once again, Marta, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. And we're looking forward to having you again soon. We wish you all the best. And you've definitely got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike, and it's been an honor. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity you've given me.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamosenzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.